I'm Kelly Epperson with WPAQ 740 AM, and I'm sitting here with Rob Livengood, who is running for the at-large City Commissioner seat in the upcoming Mount Airy municipal election. This interview is brought to you by Mount Airy Downtown Inc., MAD. MAD Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to foster and stimulate economic growth and development within the city of Mount Airy's historic downtown area through a variety of strategies and activities. MAD Inc. is an award-winning North Carolina Main Street organization committed to historic preservation-based community revitalization. The MAD Inc. Board of Directors represents downtown property owners, business owners, residents, and civic leaders. The following questions will address downtown development issues that will affect the growth of the district in the coming years. Each of the 9 candidates for City Council has been invited to participate and will have an equal amount of time to answer the questions. The purpose of these interviews is to educate downtown stakeholders on the upcoming election and to encourage the citizens of Mount Airy to vote in the city municipal primary on October 8th, as well as the city municipal election on November 5th. More information on the upcoming elections can be found through the Surry County Board of Elections. Question 1. The Spencer's Economic Development Project obviously looms large, and there have been many criticisms about how the city has handled this complex project. As a potential future city commissioner, you will need to decide how best to move forward. The city owns the property and the buildings that will be left after the selective demolition of unsound structures occurs this fall. This is a 2-part question. What specific steps do you think the city should now take to maximize the public benefit from this property? And how do you see those action steps affecting the downtown district?
First of all, I think that the issue or the problem at hand, if you see it that way, needs to be continued as fiscally sound as possible, fiscally responsible as possible. That being said, the contracts that are in place, I think, need to be seen to fruition and as transparent as possible. I believe going forward that we should fund infrastructure projects to support the current and future development of that area. We should make the property as attractive as possible for future possible sale and development. And on the sale side, it could be a partial sale, and this also could be split into, the land could be used for parking or a park. As it concerns the downtown development, MAD, sorry, I'm not used to using that word, but the downtown development group, I think that unintentionally the current commissioners have put in place made steps to make it a little bit more visibly friendly. And again, albeit unintentionally, they did not know at the time, it seems, that some of the buildings had to be torn down and and so on. But that's where I see question number 1.
Question 2. Among the money spent on the Spencer's project, about $740,000 wasn't spent on the actual Spencer's property. $750,000 paid for much-needed repairs and replacements of decades-old sewers, water lines, and storm water drainage under and around Willow and Oak Street. Essential infrastructure improvements needed to support existing properties, whether the city bought Spencer's or not. The water lines and sewers in downtown Mount Airy are some of the oldest in the city, with many areas dating back to 1905. And they are failing. 2-part question. Will you put repair, replacement, and rehabilitation of the downtown sewer and water systems at the top of your priorities for capital improvements? And if so, how should the city pay for it?
I think that it's the responsibility, well, to answer the question, at the very top, possibly. Infrastructure improvements are extremely important. It's always the responsibility of the city leadership to budget for infrastructure. It should always be a line item in the budget, and dollars should always be allocated to it. I believe that we could work with city employees as the board to identify where the biggest needs in infrastructure are. If the biggest need is in the downtown, then we should proceed that way. But the budget should be made in respect to the current year, the next fiscal year, and the following 5 fiscal years. That way, that plans can be made to update the infrastructure, the needed infrastructure improvements, using tax dollars as it should. I believe that we could also tap into something that Mount Airy still has a surplus of in order to fund this, and their surplus is water. Mount Airy still has a surplus of water, and we could find other municipalities that we could sell this water to, specifically Pilot Mountain.
Question 3. In 2013, Mount Airy joined the North Carolina Main Street Program, and Mount Airy Downtown Inc. was formed to manage the Main Street 4-point approach to downtown revitalization: organization, economic vitality, design, and promotion. In the last 6 years, we have seen significant growth downtown, with 57 facades redone, 27 building rehabilitations, 15 public improvement projects, 68 net gain full-time jobs, 45 net gain part-time jobs, 27 net gain businesses, 14 business expansions, 23 housing units created, and over $3.2 million in public investment, with $15.6 million in private investment downtown. MAD's work and goals are based on downtown economic development strategies that encourage historic preservation-based downtown revitalization. 2-part question. As a city commissioner, what would your top priorities and goals for downtown be over the next 4 years? How will those priorities support continued growth in the downtown district, which accounts for the largest concentration of property value in Mount Airy?
I love these 2-part questions, but you can really answer this question in one part. I mean, the MAD has done a great job. Don't get in the way, right? They've done an extremely good job to increase jobs, to provide a competitive workforce, to increase retail activity, and using economic development incentives that were available to them. What I could do as a commissioner, or help do as a commissioner, is explore possible public-private partnerships. Also, we could continue to expose the transparency and the public involvement in government by putting together a group that can assess and integrate how better to engage small and medium-sized businesses to proactively stay in our community. I believe that those 2 things could enhance what MAD is doing now.
Question 4. The following list of initiatives has been drawn from downtown needs and priorities identified by MAD, the North Carolina Main Street Center, and several studies that have been undertaken in recent years with tons of data, lots of maps, and many pages of citizen input. Examples: Vision Mount Airy Land Use Plan, 2004 West Side Development Master Plan, 2008 Study on Spencer's Mill Complex, 2015 Study on Hotel Convention Center Feasibility, 2015 Mount Airy Comprehensive Plan, and the Mount Airy TDA Study, Strategic Direction 2020. Please simply react to each item on the list with either a thumbs up, meaning yes, I support this initiative? Question mark, meaning I might support this initiative if provided more information or on a modified basis. Or thumbs down, meaning no, I do not support this initiative. And please speak your responses as well. Take stock of city property and other assets that potentially could be monetized, sold, or leased.
Thumbs up. I believe this should be done anyway.
Identify infrastructure improvement needs and implement a plan to update aging and failing infrastructure.
Thumbs up. Should be part of a forward or outcome-based budgeting process.
Work with the Tourism Development Authority and other community partners to support a wayfinding plan providing updated signage for vehicular and pedestrian traffic.
Sounds good. This is a question mark, but I need some more information.
Undertake a more detailed market analysis to better understand our retail trade area and identify growth opportunities that can be targeted.
Again, we'll do question mark, but I think this is done. This is being done right now. Can continue to be done.
Develop a better, more comprehensive parking plan to address the chronic shortage of downtown parking.
I say thumbs up on this one. Maybe the Spencer's area could be used for this.
Work with the community college and the public schools to promote and provide vocational and trade education and training.
It's not entirely thumbs down, but I'm going to put thumbs down here. I don't know if it's the role of a commissioner to really push this.
Provide greater support for a permanent farmers market.
Definitely thumbs up, but it doesn't have to be downtown.
Update streetscapes, including burying overhead power lines.
It's hard to pick up the sign, but thumbs up again. It doesn't have to be right now. It could be further in the future.
Develop public spaces, including pocket parks and a town commons.
Question mark. Need some more information on that.
Continue greenway connections or expansions through the downtown area.
I say thumbs up as long as it's fiscally responsible.
Continue to support festivals and other events sponsored by nonprofit civic organizations.
Definitely thumbs up. As a town municipality, we should definitely do this.
And in closing, please briefly elaborate on any of those topics and provide a closing comment.
I elaborated when you asked me to. I'm not going to elaborate anymore. However, my closing comment, I would just like to, read off my little paper that I've prepared. But I think what I could bring to the board would be enthusiasm. I don't get discouraged easily, where there's a lot going on right now, and I can take a lot, I can process a lot, and I can continue to move forward. My understanding of the role of a commissioner is to serve and to put the needs of the citizens first. I am somebody that's fiscally responsible. I also have good listening skills and am open to listening to everyone. To sum up, I'd like to help lead Mount Airy in making sure there's a clear end goal or purpose before starting large endeavors. And she said I could finish what I said. And finally, it's not a if you build it, they will come type of scenario. I think Mount Airy is a great place to be, and they will come. We just need to entice them to stay.